One. So, welcome and thank you for joining us for Oakland Creates Exhibitor Spotlight. Tonight we have Gladys Ochoa. And can you give me your pronouns and how you are associated with Oakland or San Francisco Bay Area, please?
Yeah, my pronouns are she, her. I was born and raised in San Francisco Mission District till 2 years ago when I was displaced. Now I'm located in the greater Bay Area, which is still counts, Antioch, and
Nice.
I have a lot of connections still to my hometown, San Francisco, even if I don't want them. People always say, "Where you go? Who are you?" Things like that.
Nice. Cool. So, can you tell me a little bit about your background in terms of art education, how you got started in art, and what inspires you?
Yeah, of course. So I grew up with two major influences in my family. My father's a painter, my brother's a painter. One
Cool.
painted traditional acrylic and collage, the other one went into digital. So I was heavily influenced by these two people in my life to the point that I would come back from school one day and ask for a simple drawing program. And my brother, wanting to be a good brother, gave me a bootleg copy of Photoshop CS2. And I was like 10. I'm like, what do I do with this? This isn't coloring with Arthur. This is some bizarre layer system.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, did you go to school? Do you have a degree in art, or did you go to school for something else?
Oh, yeah, I definitely went to school. I went to a School of the Arts in San Francisco that last year was renamed to Ruth Sauer, based off of the famous weaver and sculptor artist. And I went to CCA after, California College of the Arts.
Oh,
And
wow.
right now, my goal is to get my plan B right now is my master's in museum studies to help other artists like me.
Oh, cool. And
Yeah.
also, can you tell me a little bit of uh like what like is your muse in terms of your zines and art? Like what like gets you going? Like me, I like to do horror or sci-fi weird stuff, and I also like to do perzines. So what type of work do you do in terms of like how you got started in it and why do you do it?
Yeah. So pop culture was a major influence, the basics of comics, animation, cartooning as a kid. And I fell in love with it thanks to my brother. He was really big into the anime sector, Pokemon, Sailor Moon back in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
But what really hit me off was when I went to see a Tezuka exhibit, the godfather of manga, so to say. And when I saw his variety of work, I got influenced. I'm like, I want to make 40 comics when I get older. And now I'm at five. I think in the
Ah.
shorts. But young me was ambitious. Current me is realistic. But a lot of my muses is animals because it's so funny and really able to connect very easy to people. But
Right.
it's also practically anything words, music,
Nice.
pigeons, things. Yeah.
And so what is your favorite medium? You said that your brother gave you Photoshop, but I noticed you use a lot of pencil and charcoal and traditional stuff. So what is your favorite?
It has to be both, honestly. I've done graphite because I was actually banned in high school from using color.
Mm.
And I was told it was very muddy. So the professor just made me keep sketching, keep sketching. And I find pencils to be very easy, quick on the go compared to let me set up my acrylic. Oh, darn, that bird flew away. uh, so I use both of them uh, depending on how I'm feeling that day. And so I
Oh.
can do digital painting and I can do traditional draftsmanship. So right now I've been pairing the two by combining them, sketching it by hand, photographing it, and then doing it in Photoshop.
Yeah, that's what so I have to get more into doing digital art. I've been lacking on that and yeah, I just kind of been stubborn, but I know I should do more digital work. Also, so tell me a little bit more about you said you were displaced. So it doesn't sound like you necessarily wanted to leave San Francisco. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, it is a interesting topic. I was evicted
Mm,
after 27 years. I got evicted, and my whole family was evicted with me. I lived with my family still,
Wow.
and it was a really difficult time. I would rather, I would most likely have to make a comic about it in the future
Is that
because
due
it
to
was
the
serious.
I'm sorry, is that due to the Google influx of Google and the Silicon Valley um workers coming to San Francisco and that big wave where people were getting pushed out?
Yes, and I guess I'm part of the latter wave. It was interesting in that three of my neighbors from childhood were also being threatened with eviction along with us
Mm.
in the
Wow.
same block. And so we were paying, of course, renters. I forgot what it's called when it's stuck. We were paying below what's currently being offered in San Francisco, 5K,
Right.
less than that.
A
And so
rent
the
controlled
landlord basically brought, did this huge investigation on our habits and sued us.
mm,
And so where I spent a long time in the courtroom. Uh,
wow.
and so it was just really interesting about how the mission completely changed. I mean, I grew up in the gang area, so I've always been asked about what do I think about gentrification, and it was always a mixed bag. But they finally got us, and I don't. I'm speechless. It's
Yeah,
so
cuz
sensitive.
I definitely was like not necessarily personalizing, but just the whole wave. I've noticed the gentrification in the mission quite some time ago because I used to go over there to do art and man, it was disgusting and sort of the attitude of who are you and why are you brown and black people coming here? You know what I mean? Like it was just the whole switch to the a different attitude. It was astounding. And so yeah, that was my question. It's like it's unfortunate, but it's also one of those things that nobody seemed to care because they were bringing so much money was coming, but it was messed up. It just some of my teachers from my when I went to school were part of that wave that got displaced, and they had been in the mission for over like 30 years, 40 years, and so it's yeah, it's just amazing the heartlessness and the senselessness of San Francisco, how it like treats its natives. You know what I mean? And so you say you're gonna do art about it. I'd definitely love to see your take on that because, yeah, it's a sensitive subject, but it's one that I think even the gentrification happening in Oakland, it needs to be a spotlight put on it and more talked about. It's sort of why I
Yes.
started Oakland Creates because when the art murmur started, it was not um it was not equal or it wasn't open to brown and black people. I remember trying to apply for shows, or I did apply for shows and not being well received, even in the black parts of Oakland. That these little mom and pop galleries would open up and you'd walk in and they'd be like, "Why are you here? Why are you applying?" And this is in Oakland, you know.
No.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
I
That's
know
what I'm saying.
exactly what you mean. Or they pigeonhole you and say like, "Ah, you're Mexican. Do you
Yeah,
do murals?" And I'm
yeah.
like, "No, no, I'm not Diego Rivera. Get out of here! Shoot, shoot."
Exactly. So it was astounding, and so yeah, that's just oh. Anyway, let's go to some lighter, fun questions.
I wasn't expecting this combo, but it's part of my life. It definitely affected me, and
it's
I
affected.
always try to incorporate. Yeah.
It's affected all of us because you know what I mean. So many people were pushed from San Francisco and they came to Oakland and, like you said, to Antioch, Pittsburgh, and even the wave that would came to Oakland, now they were pushed out of Oakland, and so it's kind of
Yes.
a trickle down effect. But it's
It's
messed
so
up.
funny being here and I meet people and they're like, I do live in San Francisco. High five.
Yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
like, I see where we all went. All the brown people are over here now.
Exactly. I was gonna say Pittsburgh and Antioch. A lot of brown and black people landed there. But anyway, let's go to the next question, which it stumped some people. I think it's pretty funny. So if you could only eat three foods for the rest of your life, what three foods would they be?
I'm going to go with shrimp. I love shrimp.
Okay.
And then I was gonna go with beets because I love beets,
Oh
which is
wow.
really funny to many people because I like to be humorous when I eat it and make it look like I'm the creature, the guy from the Indiana Jones film. That's pretty bad now, but Kali Ma, Temple of Doom, just have it like a heart and be like Kali Ma. And then the third choice, I'm going to cheat and say salad because anything could be a salad.
Right, right.
If you cut
Oh,
it, it's a salad. Loophole.
that's so funny. Cause steak, they make steak salad. Okay,
Yes, similar things.
next question. If you were on a desert island or stranded on a desert island, and you could only bring three people, which three people would you bring?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with. I just had his name in my head. I can't remember his name. Oh, the guy from Discovery Channel that is famous for all his terrible survival skills. Bear Grylls. Yeah, I'm gonna
Ah,
steal Bear Grylls.
okay.
I'm gonna steal my older brother because I'm gonna get stranded with him, and he's really good at making something out of nothing. Like 5 tortillas. Let's make quesadillas for 12 people. Kind of deal.
That works. That works.
And then the third person, I've been having trouble thinking. I honestly wasn't sure. I'm like, maybe I'll just choose from my hat Lady Gaga. What's she gonna do? She's just gonna sing paparazzi while I like make a fire.
Yes, you have an entertainer. You have entertainment. Yeah, Lady Gaga is hilarious. That's funny. Oh man, this has been so much fun. So, shout out your social media if you have a website or Instagram or Twitter, so people can find you
It's a
later.
secret. No, no, it's not. It's a Draw Ink Studio. It's one word, so it will sound like Draw Wink. Uh, but it's basically Draw Ink Studio at Instagram, Twitter.
Nice.
I just made a coffee for this, so yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us out there. Thanks for watching. All right. See you.